Bomber jacket. Ready. Glass of Prosecco. Ready. Star Wars notebook. Ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? So it's Wednesday, I'm just about to watch the Sewing Bee final. I'm very excited. But before I magically see you tomorrow morning, I'm going to leave you with a few of my friends to let them tell you what they thought of season 10 and who they would like to win tonight. Cheers!
Hi everyone, it's Rachel from the French Seams. I have thoroughly enjoyed series 10 of the Great British Sewing Bee. It's shown us some amazing sewing talent, some incredible characters, and it's just been so much fun. I'm delighted with the 3 finalists. I think they're all brilliant, but I'm firmly in Team Pasha. I think her sewing is immaculate. She's done some incredible transformation challenges. She's done the most beautiful evening dress, the black one with the blue bow, the Coco Chanel bias cut dress was just beautiful. And of course, we cannot forget her Beyonce inspired silver garment. I think she is just wonderful, so best of luck, Pasha. A huge thank you to Sam for doing all the catch-up videos every single week, and thank you very, very much for having us on your channel.
Hi, I'm Katie from Whatever Katie Sews. I have loved season 10 of the Great British Sewing Bee. As some of you may know, I've run an Instagram live after each episode to talk about everything to do with the programme, and I've really loved hearing what everyone has had to say. I absolutely love Susie, but as Susie's not in it anymore, I am with Team Luke. I think their designs have been amazing. Their sewing has been absolutely insane. So go.
Hello, Sam, and thank you so much for all your amazing synopsis of the Sewing Bee Series 10. They've been fantastic, and I've absolutely loved watching this series. It's been fantastic. My favourite for the final is the wonderful Luke. I think they are amazing. The things that they have created are absolutely amazing. I particularly loved the Lady Gaga costume that they made, and I just think they have such a passion for all things sewing, and I just think they are a wonderful person. So I am rooting for Team Luke. I can't wait to watch the final, and I cannot wait to watch the final synopsis this week. Lots of love, my darling. Thank you. Mwah!
Hey everyone, it's Sam from Sequin Girly Creates, and just want to hop on and tell you I've loved season 10 of the Great British Sewing Bee. Every year I'm not sure, am I like, is it going to be a good one or not? This year's been brilliant. I think it's been a great variety of challenges. I've loved the middle challenge with the upcycling. They've been really great with what they've come up with there, and all the contestants have been fantastic. I wonder if you can guess that I am Team Susie. How can I not? Anyone who knows anything about me knows I love an upcycle, from tablecloths to duvets to curtains, and Susie champions that so well. Go Susie, but love all of you.
Hello, it's Mandy from Make It Sew here. So I've really enjoyed all the episodes. I love seeing all the contestants at the start and their journeys with the sewing challenges they face. But my favourite one so far has been Diva Week, which was last week. So as to contestants, who do I want to win? Well, I'll be honest, I would love any 3 of them to win. If you want to pin me down to who I'd love to see win, I love Luke. I think their style is great. I love Elsa and I love Pasha, but I'm going to go for Team Pasha. But like I say, I'd love any of them to win. So there you go. Bye for now.
So Sewing Bee Series 10.
Thoughts?
Challenging.
Challenging, definitely challenging. I feel that it's got very challenging.
I think I appreciate now that I sew just how challenging it is, whereas before when I've watched it, I had no concept.
Definitely.
Challenging. Time. More time needed.
Definitely.
And as for what team we're in?
I think we're both the same, aren't we?
Yeah, we agree.
Team Pasha.
We love them all. We think they're all very talented and they're amazing. But we just think that she's the neatest, most consistent, up there sewist. So we think Team Pasha. Hello, And thank you to my lovely friends who did those little videos for me. I really, really appreciate it. So it is the morning after the night before. Literally, what a final. I am still buzzing. I have to say, I have to admit to getting a little bit emotional last night. I just enjoyed every minute of it. It was lovely. So before I get on to what happened in the final, I've just got a little bit of business to do. So first thing is I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to every single one of you that have made a comment, that have liked my videos, that have watched from the start, that you know, have liked something on Instagram. I just, honestly, it's been overwhelming and I've really, really enjoyed it. So I don't monetize my channel. I don't get any revenue for doing this. I do it because I really enjoy it. And so I also want to say a big thank you to those of you that have bought me a coffee and kind of tipped on my Ko-fi account. It's really appreciated. You know, not necessary, but really nice. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now on to my Facebook group Sweepstakes. So I have already done the draws. I did them all under controlled conditions. Simon, my husband, was there writing everything down. I did it randomly drawn on the wheel, and if you wait till the end of this video, those 3 draws will be done. So the first draw is the first prize, the second draw is the second prize, and the third draw is the third prize. And I'm going to show you the prizes now. So the first prize are a set of the 3 little Peggy dolls that are always on my videos. So you get a Peggy Kyle, a Peggy Patrick and a Peggy Esme. They're not, my ones are still behind there. These is an extra set that I have bought as a prize, and I've made a little bag for them to go into, and as well as that, a little tiny felted beehive as the first prize. So I thought that would be quite nice for the first prize winner. And then the second and third prizes are the same. And I have made 2 almost identical twinning pinny ladies. So these are my little lady pin cushions that I love to make, that can sit on your sewing table to hold all of your sewing accoutrements and your pins. She's got a little apron to put her bits and pieces in. So if you watch to the end, and if you're a winner, I will also be putting this on my Facebook page, but if I don't contact you first then and you find you're a winner, then hop over to the Facebook page and give me a message, and I'll have your prizes sent out to you. So if you missed out on the sweepstakes this year, what you do need to do is you need to join me over on my Facebook page, and next year I'll be doing it all again. So about as soon as they announce the contestants, I open my sweepstake. So if you are on social media and you suddenly next year you realise that they've announced who the contestants are, pop over to the Facebook page, and that's when I pop up my sweepstake. And how it works is it's completely free to join. I don't ask for anything at all. This year I did have a little Just Giving page for my lovely friend Emma, but there's no obligation to do anything at all. And then I put you into a group. You all get assigned a contestant, and then if that contestant wins at the end, you get popped into a draw, and that's what's happened this. So a little bit of business there, and I hope you don't mind that. So the final. Oh, it didn't let us down. It really didn't let us down. So I need to say, first of all, the absolute shade of Esme Young. She is trying to outdo me. So this is the jacket that she wore last night, and this is the jacket that I wore last night. I mean, I'd say who wore it best, but it's definitely Esme. But I'm going to have to up my game next year. So yeah, she bought all the sparkles. I wasn't expecting anything less. In fact, they all looked super dapper. Kyle bought his breast suit out. Patrick looked dapper as ever. Yeah, and Esme just sparkled the night away. So that was fabulous. So if you have been living in a cupboard, the 3 finalists are Elsa, Luke and Pasha. And the format was exactly the same in any of the other episodes. So we had the pattern challenge, the transformation challenge, and then the final made to measure. So in the pattern challenge, they had 3 hours to make a pair of opera gloves. I thought this was really tricky, but there was part of me, the little kind of part of me was going, I want to make a pair of opera gloves. Now, I don't know where you get a pattern for something like that, or whether you could just make your own pattern. I'm not sure, but I'm really, really keen on making a pair of opera gloves because, I mean, they look really fun to make, even though they look really, really tricky. And I quite like all of the intricate sewing. I know I'm a bit weird, but I thought they looked really nice. So they were asked to choose some suitable fabric. They were obviously told of the difficulties with the small pieces and a 0.5 centimetre, so 0.5 centimetre seam allowance, which is a tiny seam allowance. And I think that was the tricky bit of it. Now, Patrick and Esme did bang on quite a lot about saying they had plenty of time. They made sure that they had plenty of time to finish. Now, they had enough time to finish. It was a 3-hour challenge, but I don't think 3 hours under those kinds of pressures is plenty of time. I mean, we'll see. Maybe if I do find the pattern, I'll tell you if you can do it in 3 hours. We will see. So Luke used a lovely stretch velvet, looked very glamorous. The fit was very good, very elegant, and good pair of gloves. Elsa went for a textured fabric. They didn't quite fit and were not identical. Pasha went for lace. Now, this was Pasha's mistake, I think, choosing lace. As soon as I saw that she was using lace, I said to my husband, "Oh, you're going to see every mistake in that lace." I don't think I would have gone for lace. And she did have a bit of a mare. So she had an upside down thumb and a couple of holes. So they weren't her best work. So as a consequence, Luke was first, Elsa was second, and Pasha was third. And then on to the transformation challenge with party paraphernalia for all. So the brief was fun but wearable, could use any of the haberdashery that they like but no extra fabric, and it needed to have both fun and function. So Elsa chose the bunting and just the bunting, nothing else, and just kind of wrapped the bunting around her mannequin. And it looked fun, but for function, definitely not. There was no real way of getting in or out of it. So, yeah, that was an odd one for me. I was like, yeah, but bunting, great. But I think I would have probably kind of sewn the triangles together, like in an interesting kind of geometric way, and then had that going across if I was going to use the bunting rather than just kind of wrapping it around. But it looked fun. And what do I know? I mean, like, they're under so much pressure. Luke, I was so impressed with Luke for one main reason, is that they managed to get a zip in paper. I'm gonna have a go at that. I'm gonna have a go at making myself a paper dress. Just see if I can do it. I was so impressed. So they made their dress out of napkins, you know, paper party napkins, and got a zip in it. How does that happen? So impressed. Had a little napkin bow and a kind of a bustle. I think that the bustle was some kind of like, you know, like you get at Christmas and you have those kind of round pleated kind of decorations. It was like that. They kind of look like snowflakes, but this one just was like a fanned pink paper ruffle. I think is that the word? Anyway, genius. Looked really good. Pasha used a kind of shiny tablecloth and then some you know, like those sparkly glittery curtains that you get when you go through. Tonight, Matthew, I will be... No, sorry, probably too old for you. Very, very sparkly. And yeah, and of course, totally appealed to Esme. And as a consequence, Pasha was first, Luke second, and Elsa was third. And then it was the made to measure. And the made to measure was 5.5 hours long, which might sound like a long time in sewing bee terms, but with their expectation, I didn't think it was very long at all. So they were told no patterns this time. Sorry, fold line. No patterns. They weren't allowed to use a pattern. They had to be totally draped on the mannequin. They had mannequins made for them that represented the people that they chose to make for, and they were all family, friends, that kind of thing, which they do every year, which I think is really lovely. And Luke had their friend Jake, Elsa had the friend Thomas, and Pasha had a friend Romy, I believe a university friend, but I could be wrong. And yeah, and they had the mannequins made, but it all had to be draped on the mannequin. And they all went about it in fairly different ways, how they were going to kind of deal with the draping. Now, I did wonder, because they've never done draping before in a final, but I really, really enjoyed the fact that they did do that, because the thing is that, you know, it's a competition. I know I keep banging on about this. It's a competition, and it's a sewing competition. And we have to kind of move with the times of what's happening in the sewing world. Now, if you go on a sewing fashion course, it's much more now about the draping than it is about the sewing skills. We've got a couple of young apprentices that work at the shop, and they all doing fashion design, and they are fabulous at draping. They're great. I mean, their job is always in the window display, drape this fabric on that mannequin. They're absolutely fantastic at it. It's what they're expected to do. So whereas I think some of the more kind of mature sewers are much more on technical sewing. So I think it's great that, you know, people have an opportunity to do both. And that, you know, and both skills are showcased in a competition. So I was up for it, but it did definitely show the difference between the contestants. Pasha, only being 20, probably hasn't had as much experience as draping as some of the others. And so whereas Elsa and Luke definitely seemed more comfortable in that area. I think that's fair to say. But yeah, no patterns allowed. And so they just went for it. So let's start with Pasha's. Again, same pictures will be coming up to hopefully give you an idea of what their ideas are. They all kind of had little drawings or sketches or things that they had done, because they're, of course, for this challenge, they're allowed to practice before. So Pasha had like a pink, it looked like quite a heavy taffeta fabric, and it was all kind of pleats and drama. And it was quite revealing. And I think in the end, her model did have some kind of undergarment underneath, because I think it was very, very revealing. And, you know, you have to keep everybody's modesty in these things. So, yeah, and hers was lots of pleats. Now, Elsa went for a kind of one shoulder waistcoat thong with a draped quilt. With a draped kilt, not quilt. Get your teeth in, Sam. And I have to say, when I saw Elsa's drawings, I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. And I said to my husband, you know, if she can pull that off, she's bringing herself right up there with the others, because obviously at this point she was a little behind. And I loved all of them, actually, all three of them. I loved the way that they brought themselves into those final makes. I mean, as soon as you saw Elsa's coming down the runway, you knew it was Elsa's. As soon as you saw Pasha's coming down the runway, you knew it was Pasha's. And as soon as you saw Luke's coming down the runway, you absolutely knew it was Luke's. And I think that in that respect, they all did so well in that, because I think that that's, you know, to show growth in a sewing competition is so important, and to show who you are in a sewing, because, you know, for me, of course, it's a sewing competition, but it is also about, you know, seeing how people can bring themselves into their clothes. You know, for example, today I'm wearing a Recreate the Look garment that I made for myself. Now, not everyone wants to go around with rainbows and rockets and stars and sparkle, or, you know, on their top. I do, because it's all about me. Because I like my clothes to represent me and say a little bit about who I am. And not every day, but you know, it's nice, it's cool. And that's what I really liked about the final Made to Measure, is that every single one that went down was them. Totally them. And then that brings me on to Luke. So Luke's draping skills really came out in this. I felt that they did so well with the draping. Some of the and made quite challenging decisions. I've had a go at draping dresses and draping fabric, but I wouldn't even know where to start with draping a jacket. And they did like a half jacket over a ruffly tiered kind of gown skirt. As I said, hopefully the pictures will be a bit better than my explanation. But it kind of had an oversized lapel, lots and lots of ruffles, an angled zip. Now, I mean, they did have a bit of trouble doing it up, but it did go up eventually. But again, like, that is just, how did they do that? And the impact was a real kind of wow moment. It was a little bit gapey in the back, and that was pointed out, and it definitely was a little bit gapey at the back, but the absolute impact of the final showstopper, if you like, was amazing. As I said, as were them all. Elsa's didn't live up, unfortunately, to its kind of drawing. There was something just a little bit off about it. And I think that in the drawing, it looked more like body armour, and in the actual finished garment, it looked more like origami. Do you know what I mean? It didn't kind of give that kind of fierce Scottish warrior kind of, do you know what I mean? It needed a little bit more structure, oomph, to really kind of get across what the drawing showed, because I thought the drawing was stunning. And Pasha's was, again, for a kind of first go at draping, was absolutely stunning. But as I said, not quite finished to where she wanted it to be, and was very revealing. I don't think I could have got away with wearing that. So, and as a consequence, the winner, and at this point, I'm going to let my husband take over, because unbeknownst to me, while we were watching the show last night, he kept taking pictures of me, and I was, what are you taking pictures of me for? Like, stop it. And then after the show had finished, he airdropped me lots of little video clips of me watching, and he caught this at the end. No garment of the week, forgot that they do that, just winner. Yay! Woohoo! So there you go. The secret is out. I had a favourite. I have been trying so hard to be impartial to all of this, but I'm going to be really honest now. Luke has been my favourite from the start. I mean, some of you might say, well, you didn't make much of a secret of that, Sam, and I probably didn't. But yeah, I mean, I have loved them all. But week one, I said to my husband, Luke's going to win. And I'm really glad they did. So yeah, so thank you to Sewing Bee for giving us another absolutely sensational series. Can we have the champion of champions now? I mean, I'm sure there'll be a few of them, a few of the winners that kind of want to do it again, and perhaps, you know, that would be great, wouldn't it? maybe not. So yes, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to leave you with some of the contestants throughout the season and what they're getting up to. Now, unfortunately, last night, the Sewing Bee, the BBC, did let me down slightly. This kind of what are they up to now section sped by so quickly, and even with me watching it 3 or 4 times, I still found it really, really difficult to keep up. So apologies if I've got some of these things not quite right, but I think I am linking with what they're getting up to with their pictures. So if you want to know what they're getting up to, that's coming up right now. And then, as I said, right at the end, you will see the draws for who's won the sweepstakes. So all I've got to do now really is just say thank you very much. So thank you so much to all of you, and thank you so much to Sewing Bee. And I'm going to get back to my normal vlogging now, so hopefully you're still seeing me once a week for my hashtag Friday Sews, and I'm going to get back to making some more really good content for you. I've got my favourite tools video hopefully to get out soon, and some more makes, because even though I've been doing this, I have still been sewing, so I've got some makes videos for you. If that sounds like something you'd really like, don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Give me a little like, and I will see you next year. Don't forget to sparkle. Bye for now. Neil got a little lonely in his sewing room, so he's made his very own Patrick puppet. Scary. Comfort's decided to put her scissors down for a while and spend some time with her lovely family. Janet went on a Caribbean cruise, and look at her in her gorgeous handmade bikini. Don got gifted some lovely fabric from Comfort and made a shirt. He's going to be a granddad again. Lauren made this beautiful dress for her friend. And here's Georgie taking her love to upcycling to the next level. Marcus has been teaching his niece to sew and has started a Sewing Bee band with his good friend Neil. Rock on! Alex has shown us her new tattoo, and she's been meeting up with the lovely Elsa. I think they're really good sewing friends. Susie's been busy making her multiple wedding dresses. Pasha's back at university and has celebrated her 21st birthday. Elsa's been living her dog life with Alfie, the lovely Alfie. And Luke has been celebrating their Sewing Bee crown in Gran Canaria with fiancé Jesus. Well done, Luke, you smashed it.